Canada's top doctor, Theresa Tam, is warning against relying on the idea of something called natural herd immunity to reopen the economy after Quebec's premier said he was considering that approach. It's an idea that's being considered in many places around the world, but health experts say it is premature and just not safe to consider right now. With more on what is being said and what is being practiced and what's being looked at, we are joined by infectious disease epidemiologist Amy Greer. Good to have you with us this morning.
Good morning.
First of all, if you can, explain to us what is natural herd immunity and what does it mean in the case of COVID-19 where there is no vaccine?
Exactly. So your immune system works to protect your body against infection and disease. And so we normally hear the word herd immunity referred to for vaccine preventable diseases. But as you've said, right now we don't have a vaccine for COVID-19. So if the population has no immunity, what that means is the disease can transmit very easily from person to person. When we have some people in the population who have immunity, what that does is it allows it to kind of buffer transmission. It means that when an infected person encounters other people, some of those people will be immune, and as a result, that helps to slow down disease transmission in the community. The challenge is that we don't have a vaccine, and so the only other way to acquire immunity in the absence of vaccine is for people to acquire a natural infection and then recover.
Dr. Greer, this is where I think people get confused, is that the idea of we need the antibodies within our body, but we're also self-isolating so that we don't get COVID-19. Can you explain that push-pull to us?
Yeah, most certainly. So, when we're faced with a new virus like this, where everybody is susceptible, what we're trying to do is balance two things. One, we're trying to balance in illness and death in the population. So, bad things that can happen to people who become infected. And we're trying to balance that with societal disruption. What we're doing right now is very disruptive in terms of families and communities and the economy. And so we're trying to balance those two things. And the problem is that's really challenging because if everybody's susceptible, if we don't engage in physical distancing, the risk of transmission in the community remains quite high.
I want to check in with you on something that we've just learned about over the weekend. There are reports now of sudden strokes in adults with COVID-19, even people who don't seem to have any serious symptoms. Do we know enough yet about this virus to be talking about herd immunity, to be doing mass openings, sending kids back to school, which is a proposal in Quebec?
Yeah, I think that, we need to remember that this is a new virus that we have not known anything about prior to December, as far as we know. And so we're still learning so much. And one of the things is that as scientists, we evaluate the evidence that's available to us at a given time. And over the course of the outbreak, the evidence will change. But right now, one of the challenges especially is related to children. And there's not a lot of great evidence that tells us what role kids play in the transmission of COVID-19. And so that's a real concern.
Amy Greer, I want to thank you for joining us. Help to clear some of that up. The many ongoing questions about COVID-19. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.